So this is my setup for using the Artist 2 on a ZX Spectrum Next and printing out to a modern HP NV Wi-Fi printer. Actually, my original ZX LPRINT III interface broke, but amazingly there's someone who makes a clone. So what I'm actually using is a modern clone of the ZX LPRINT III interface. For the mouse function, I'm just using a standard PS2 mouse plugged into the Spectrum Next, which of course effectively emulates a Kempston mouse to use with the Artist 2. Because I'm doing this all in 48K mode, I lose the SD card storage of the Spectrum Next. So I've replaced this effectively with a Pico MD drive. That's a microdrive emulator, and it allows me to load MDRs, that's a microdrive cartridge image, and Z80s directly into the Spectrum Next in 48K mode. Of course, to run the Pico MD, just like for real microdrives, you need to have a ZX Interface 1, which is connected here to the Spectrum Next edge connector. The other vital component is the RetroPrinter. This sends the Centronics output from the LPRINT Interface 3 wirelessly to my modern HP Envy Wi-Fi printer. In order to use this setup, we need to get the Spectrum Next into 48K personality. We've just interrupted the boot sequence and we're now choosing Spectrum 48K from the configuration menu. When we do this, the machine will reboot, and as it reboots, it will come into 48K personality, and we will then see the familiar 48K screen. Because this is a Spectrum Next and not a real 48K, we need to activate the interfaces such as the Pico MD, LPRINT III and Interface 1. To do this, we need to run a series of out commands. Of course, in 48K mode, you have access to tape. So I use this little digital player recorder to load in the small number of outs required to activate the Pico, Interface 1 and the LPRINT III. This takes just a few seconds. So you load from the digital player just as if it was a tape recorder, because it's just an audio output in the normal way to load from tape. And to start the player, the Spectrum Next stroke 48K thinks this is a tape playing. It's very, very quick to set up because it's only a few outs, and I could run them automatically, but I've broken into it here so that you can see which outs I've used. Now these I've got to by trial and error. I don't understand everything about how these works, so there's been a bit of an error on the way and quite a lot of reading. Just so you know, I've put a rem statement above the out statements in order to describe what I believe they do. So line 10 is to disable the DAC. Line 30 is to enable Multiface 1. Line 40 is to disable the SD card, which enables Interface 1 and the Pico MD. And finally, you need to turn the expansion bus on, so the edge connector is working, and that one is line 60. And of course, to save you actually doing a soft reset, put that into the code as well, so when it runs it does the soft reset as well. So if I run that, you'll see it's there and we've done the reset. And now what I've got to do is put the relevant cartridge into the Pico MD. Selecting the relevant microdrive or MDR on the Pico MD is very simple. Just select which microdrive. I'm going to put it into microdrive 1. There could of course be 8. I then go to the files where the MDRs or Z80s are. In this case I want the files in drawer, so I go to the folder drawer, open it, and then the one I want is artist 2, so I select that. And there we are. The cartridge is going to be available in the Pico MD. So now I've effectively put the microdrive cartridge in on the Pico MD. I can now load it by doing the normal run, and it's now loading the artist 2. As you can see, the Spectrum Next mouse works. I've got this set up for Kempston Mouse and it's activated and it works fine. So what we'll do now is we will load a drawing. So I've selected load here, so we shall now load. Artist will tell us what drawings we have available, and it does that by doing a cat, and I think I'll load Blue Tit. There's Blue Tit. And what we can do now, just to show it works, is we'll go and print. Now the way this is set up, I've got it set up to do a ZX print copy. That goes through the ZX LPRINT interface, through the RetroPrinter device I have, which takes that Centronics interface, converts it into something that my HP MV printer understands, and prints it out as if it was on an Epson dot matrix printer. Let's load something else. Go to storage. How about someone very much in the news at the moment? Let's do Donald Trump. We'll do the black and white one because we're going to print it black and white. There's a black and white Trump. Let's print that one. Let's try another one that's in the news at the moment. Elon Musk. There he is. Well, that's the best I could do. Anyway, he's looking rather young there. Let's just print that one out. Whilst we're here, we'll just do a few more. Why not Putin, while we're sticking to people in the news at the moment? Sort of Putin. Print him out. What will be instantly recognizable to somebody who had an Atari STE or another gem-based computer is this image that came, I think, with either Gem Draw or Gem Paint of a tiger. Because it was sort of a free ready-made drawing that came with the program, it sort of found itself everywhere. So let's just load that in. I've called it Tiger Gem. There it is, and we'll just select print in a normal way. Select print, and then it goes through the print command, and when it's done the print command, as before, you see it comes back to the main screen. Which one do I go for here? What about the cat anime, I've called it, because it looks a bit like a cat in that sort of style. There it is. So let's do a print of that.